Infections in England doubling around every 9 days. Scientists have warned the second wave has reached a critical stage. It's putting more pressure on the NHS, which is also facing a backlog ahead of the winter months. Joining us now is the emergency medicine consultant, Dr. Denise Langhor. Hello to you, Doctor. Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if you heard the Minister on our programme earlier this morning saying a national lockdown is still not on the cards as far as the government is concerned. What would you say in response?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm in the northwest. We've got immense pressures at the moment and high volumes of the virus circulating. So we're grateful that we do have measures in place up here. I can tell you that the BMA, the British Medical Organisation, recently surveyed over 6,500 doctors, and less than 6% were confident that local lockdown measures would have any significant impact. We know from the first wave it started in pockets around the UK and gradually did spread and rise elsewhere with a 2 to 3 week lag. We do expect the same to happen again. We think it is happening now. So I think we're more strongly of the opinion that national measures are really what's needed at the moment to try and get this virus under control, because levels are rising really fast.
Liverpool has been under Tier 3 restriction, I think, since the 14th of October. Are there any signs of it working yet?
It's too early to tell at the moment, really. I mean, I work in emergency medicine, and A&E departments are a really good pressure gauge, really, of what's happening across the whole system. You'll remember the scenes last winter when we had all the pressures and patients queuing on corridors. And across the northwest at the moment, we are seeing rising demand in our emergency departments. And we are now starting to struggle a little bit with the influx of patients and certainly a lot less capacity in the hospitals. So at the moment, it's a bit too soon to tell whether or not the local measures will have an impact. It generally takes 2 or 3 weeks because of the lag time with people catching the virus and developing symptoms.
And how worried are you about the impact on the National Health Service in your part of the world? Because, of course, ICUs, by their very nature, tend to work at almost capacity. Is that the point?
Yeah, so I think we're all incredibly worried at the moment. Obviously, winter pressures happen year on year. We know that they're going to happen this year, and we struggle with that without COVID being there. This year, we're dealing with the second wave of the COVID pandemic, in addition to the fact that we've been told we need to plough on with all of our elective activity and try and catch up with the backlog that was created during the first wave. On top of that, NHS staff are not immune to COVID, and we're not exempt from the rules of having to isolate if our family members become unwell. So we're also trying to deal with this enormous rising workload with reduced staffing levels. It's very challenging. It's going to be immensely difficult for everyone in the NHS.
And what about the mental health challenges for NHS workers?
So, yeah, a real challenge at the moment. Again, the British Medical Association have been surveying doctors quite closely since the start of the pandemic to monitor that situation. And certainly on the last survey, about 2/3 of doctors have reported that they now are significantly anxious about the work ahead of them. And about 40% of staff have reported that symptoms of stress, anxiety and depression have risen since the COVID pandemic. So it's a concern to all of us. We're tired. This is a stressful and frightening time for all of us, really. As the NHS is, we look after each other, we support our teams. But I think it's certainly on everybody's minds that people are going to struggle through this.
OK, Doctor, thank you. Coming up at 8:20, we'll be talking to a Nottingham restaurant owner about the impact